Hey Rob, it's Camille again from Millennial Tarot. Thank you so much for choosing me once again to do your personal reading here today. So you have two questions. The first one regarding Laura. Let me move my phone up here. You basically want me to, or Tarot, to see if we can confirm whether or not she's in this relationship for, money, because she has low self-esteem, and just to be comfortable. So let's shuffle, go within, and see what Tarot can confirm or not confirm about this situation. I'll do it 2 more times. Oops, that's not good. Sticky cards. Alright. There we go. Okay, let's see what Tarot has to say. Okay, so there's definitely elements of money and elements of, balance and comfort. I don't see anything here about, manipulation. That's what you asked about that. Or materialism. I see, you already alluded to it yourself. There's an element of low self-esteem and comfort. So we have the Magician coming in to set this reading off for a recent past for her, the relationship. Presently, the Knight of Pentacles, and then future, the Six of Pentacles. And heavily money, heavily pentacles, so there is an element of earthbound materialism, of things we can touch, see, and feel, things that we can have and hoard. But moving into this reading with Magician just shows me that Laura is in complete control of her situation. So even if from the outside it looks like, she may have low self-esteem, all these things could be possible, she's in the relationship 100% because she wants to be. And the reason I say that is because the Magician does not manifest anything that he does not want to see. The Magician is, has domain over all 4 of the suits: Pentacles, Swords, Wands, and Cups. And he is as above, so below, as within, so without. So she is attracting to herself someone and something that is at the complete level of where she is, and that is at the complete frequency which she wants to attract. Now, obviously, people can attract things and be at a lower frequency, and thus attract lower frequency people and situations. That could very well be what's happening. Tarot only gives one side of the story, a very objective view of the story, so you could fill in more details there. But the Magician still gets what he wants, whether it's good or bad. And the Magician is usually a really good card, but just for this reading, it takes on a different twinge of character. Knight of Pentacles, really coming in to show that the person that she is with is someone who can offer her something. And someone who can offer her something that's going to provide long-term growth, long-term stability, as you said, comfort was a factor. Long-term, security. Knight of Pentacles here, the slowest moving knight, so she could be with someone, she might be moving in quickly more than he's moving in to her. Like she could be displaying this really into you quality, and he's more slow, taking his time. So there could be an element, if we were to put those stories together, of manipulation, of her rushing in to take advantage of this more solid, unmoving and slow Knight of Pentacles. But the Knight of Pentacles, much like the Magician, is there because he wants to be, right? And he's there to offer something. And Pentacles obviously have to do with money. They have to do with status. Earthbound cards, you think of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, who are the signs that are doing things here in the world. Taurus representing our second house of self-esteem, self-worth, the things that we, keep to ourselves, security things, then Virgo representing the 6th house of things that we do out in the world, and Capricorn representing our 10th house of status. So is she in this relationship for money, for comfort, for status, for longevity? Absolutely. And why? It's because she doesn't see how she deserves anything better. She doesn't see how she's going to get her needs met any other way. The 6 of Pentacles, another Pentacles card. Pentacles coming in here strongly. Magician even representing Pentacles because we have a Pentacle here. she, to me, in this instance, is the beggar, and the Knight of Pentacles, the person she is with, is the guy who is giving her charity. And she's there accepting breadcrumbs. And Six of Pentacles is also a card of balance, so it's also a card of, you know, I'm going to stay here because this is where I feel comfortable, this is where I feel at peace, this is where I feel balanced. And it's a card of charity, it's a card of, are you the one giving or are you the one taking? And in this situation, I really do see her kind of being down here, but kind of being okay to be there because she is still getting something. And the Six of Pentacles also representing balancing of the scales. So, you know, we talked about how she may be in the relationship to balance herself, but this would also be she needs to be in the relationship because there's some type of karmic, as you said already, I think, karmic draw to this person. So there's something that she needs to play out and there's a lesson she needs to learn through this situation. So let's go on to second question. Put these back in the deck. Does she fear losing me to someone else while she has been playing house in Fantasyland with a narcissist for the past year? Knight of Pentacles is one away from the King of Pentacles, and one of the downsides of the King of Pentacles is that he's accumulated a lot of wealth, and you can Google the card yourself, you can Google the image, you can see the smug look on his face. So in his lower forms, in his lower energy forms, he could certainly be a narcissist, or at least deeply materialistic and unwilling to share with most others. Whoop. Something fell out. Two things fell out. I'm going to honor them. And pull one more. No. Okay, so the question is, does she fear losing you? No. There's no real element of fear, just like we came up in the last reading with Magician wants to be there and he knows what he's doing and he manifests exactly what he wants to manifest. So it is here. So coming into this reading with the Judgment card, which is speaking to the end of something in the recent past. So, you know, it could mean she's gotten to a point where she has completed a cycle. The cycle doesn't have to look like, oh, we broke up or oh, we don't talk. These are things that can happen more silently and inwardly, like a tectonic plate moving slowly within our surface. So there's something that is culminating in her or closing within her. That may be something that we spoke about last time. I do so many readings now, I'm unsure. But the Judgment card is just speaking to skeletons in the closet, things that have been following us around, leaving their shadows, needing to come up to be given judgment so they can ascend. So this is like dead weight, baggage following us around. And in the past position, feels like she's done something to get rid of it. So that's why I say, like, tarot can only give an objective view. You can only really know an objective view of a person. And there were elements, I think, in our last reading of you actually asking and reaching out to her. So there's something that she's completing within herself. There's some baggage she's getting rid of, whether it's you, whether it's friends, if she's like, you know... And, you know, the Judgment card doesn't necessarily mean that she's getting rid of... Usually it does, but I just wanted to... Something that came in, it doesn't mean that she's necessarily getting rid of something that's good to get rid of. But she's definitely in this moment where she is closing a chapter of her life. You would know what that looks like for her, you know, the situation more intimately, but she's definitely ending a chapter. And then starting a new one, the Empress card, being the Venusian card, the Venus representing art, love, diplomacy, and yes, money, money, money. The Empress card, traditionally in the tarot, is about, you know, taking an idea and birthing it into the world. So she's really in a place, both with the Magician and the Empress, where she is birthing something new. It doesn't, these cards are just archetypes. It does not have to be that she's like, oh, she's going to be a grand wizard, and she's this beautiful Empress, and she's birthing a new faith. Like, these are just indications for what could actually be happening. The Empress card is such a beautiful card. It doesn't necessarily mean that what she's creating is beautiful, but the meaning behind the card is that she has sought something out with the Magician. We already saw that to be true, and here she is in the current position, having to do with you, birthing that out into the world. And the Empress is very, we think of Venus, we have the inscription of Venus having to do with material, Venus once again ruling that second house, which we spoke about earlier. And then the Two of Wands, which is I have the entire world in my hands. So, and she also has her back turned. Could be on you, could be on her old life, could be, you know, she's leaving something behind obviously coming up here, and she's moving out into the future, feeling like she has a lot of things on the horizon. So, you know, unfortunately, I don't know what you wanted the answer to be, but tarot gives the answer that we need to hear anyway. Does she fear losing you? Not really. She's really in a place where she's feeling herself. She likes what she's giving. She's feeling the material comforts of the world. We saw it twice with the Six of Pentacles. Twice already with the Six of Pentacles. The, Knight of Pentacles, another Empress, another material-based card. And then here she is moving out into the future, feeling like she has a whole world in her hands. She has options. She can move forth on her journey. You know, we think about the culmination of something here, XX, 1010, the end of something, dying to myself, dying to an old person I used to be, dying to a phase in my life, closing the book on that, and completely birthing a new start. And, you know, there's no card of regret or longing or looking back or being forlorn, so she's kind of moving on and doing it her way. Now, whether or not she's moving into something good is no one can say that. Tarot can't say that. All tarot can say is that she's ending some portion of her life with some people, and she's moving on, likely with the Knight of Pentacles, because we have, you know, Venus here, Empress herself, very materialistic, not materialistic in a bad way, just materials, accumulation of things, worldly comforts, and then moving off to like what next kind of conquer in the world. It could also mean travel, using money to travel or traveling places with this guy. So this has been your reading. I hope it has given you any clarity and peace. I hope that this video finds you well wherever you are. Have a great day.